Good afternoon. We're here at Unite Austin, but this presentation is all about how can you grow your career and build your own teams or build up a team to have a successful game or build successful experiences. It's about how do you get the help to be successful. I'm Callewaert. I work at Unity Technologies in the Evangelism team. I had the luck to meet with a lot of studios and hear their challenges. But we also have
Marilyn Holmes, and I'm the lead technical recruiter at Unity.
Do you hear her? Okay. So I'm going to give you one point of advice. Please talk to Marilyn, because she hires the most people at Unity. So if you want to get a job, I really highly recommend. I was just talking to Marilyn, and they actually have already people hired here at the conference.
Interviewed right in the booth.
So
stop there afterward before it shuts down.
I would, after the session, I would run right away to Marilyn at the booth to get a job.
Right.
So myself, I used to work making games and making applications, and sometimes I did it as an indie, and I got super excited. Okay, I got this idea, and I want to make it. But then there's always a little problem. I hit a wall. One of my first applications I made in Unity, it's about, I think, that must be almost 7.5 years ago when I made my first application, and I hit a wall, personally. I didn't know how to do the scripting for animation. So I really had to find, and I had challenges like go to the manual, find people to help me. It was a real big block. So, as Jon Snow says it, you don't know C++. So the challenge that I think everybody has here is how do I find a job sometimes? How can I contribute to another project? Who's currently looking for a job? Raise your hand. See, we have several people looking for a job. And who's hiring? So you should talk to each other.
Who's sitting next to their boss and can't say? Wait.
That's a good one. So also, if you're hiring, how can I know if the person is right? I remember about 7 years ago or 8 years ago, I hired a person to work on a project. And I didn't know him. He asked me 50% up front to pay. I paid it, and I never heard any more from him. So how can I be sure that we find the right people? Now, where can I find that talent? Where do you go? I went on forums, very hard to find, and who you trust on those forums. But sometimes I just want a contract worker. I don't need anybody who has a full-time job. So in the past, I went on forums and sent out emails asking, and then somebody, yeah, I can do this, but can you really do it? I don't know. But also, if you have a company, you want to land more contracts. And it's very hard to go around to conferences or go around on the internet to type, hey, please, we exist. And sometimes you're in a remote area, and it's hard to get visibility. That's why we're introducing Unityconnect. Who's already in Unityconnect? Okay, almost a half. So after this presentation, you will cry if you didn't sign up yet. Why is that? It's really a community of artists, programmers, designers, audio, storytellers. They can find each other there to unlock success. I'm going to give you some really examples here. Like, if you're an artist, you might be looking for a programmer to fix a script. Or you could be a programmer looking for a concept artist to create the beautiful characters. Yeah, it's not technical in Unity, but all that community isn't there in Connect to find each other. Now, also, even if you're a studio and you're looking for somebody, a VR specialist, to help you convert your projects to VR with the right interface. There you can see already we want somebody who's VR, who understands the interface, the UI. So it's a combination we're looking for. Some people came to me, why would I be on that? Why would I tell that I'm available for work? Because I have a full-time job. Well, maybe on the side you want to make some money with little contracts and contribute to existing projects. Or maybe you want to build out your portfolio. You want to show what you all have worked on. Okay. Now, who is a recruiter here? No recruiters here? There's people who are hiring, so you're a recruiter. Okay. So now you start to see, wow, there's actually a whole network there of people that can access to come to work at our company. Okay. And I'm not a PowerPoint guy, so I'm gonna go in the Unity editor. No. I'm gonna go here. So Unityconnect is a platform that you can go on the website. So you log in, and then you see like what's all going on. Like news channels, people who have their projects up. Oh wow, that looks like cool. And then I can start to look. Well, that's the first place at Global Game Jam, and you can start to look at those projects and, well, that's actually the art I want in my game, or the mechanism I want. And then you can click here, find, okay, that's the person that actually made it. And then you can start, connect with him, and create a communication with him. Start to talk about it. No, all about creating those connections. So I have several connections. I can click here, and I think you're here in the audiences. See, I'm a magical. So then I can send you a message and start to talk. Okay, let me go back here to connections. But also, like connections, you can click here, and those are my friends already that I can have discussions with. But Discover, and that's really cool. I found some people for some of our events to that. I can see projects that might be interesting, but it doesn't have to be projects. It could be, like, click here, a blog about your upcoming game. And you can promote what you're doing to find other people to work together, or finding people that are interested to work in your game. So if I go back here, like I say, I can find talent maybe. Okay, now I can say, okay, we see here all people that actually have skills to offer. But what can I do? I can say maybe you need to be a rigger, okay, and you have to work on a mobile game. And then we have right away several people that have that skill set. You can click on that. Now you can see the projects I worked on, work experience, education. So it's public, you can start to check things. And then you can connect and ask questions. Discover, let's go back. So talent, but also companies. What if you want to outsource a project to a company? You can find the companies here, and then you can, this is really cool too. You can say they specialize maybe in art, okay, we localize it, and then where are they based? Maybe they have to be in New York City, or in Los Angeles, okay, Los Angeles. And there we have several companies who are specializing in art and based in Los Angeles. But they can say, okay, have they job openings, have they projects, so easily you can find and connect. This is really cool. Schools. And as a school, you want to also show that you're available, or where do you going to go take courses? Where can you find more material to learn? And then you can search by location and directly connect with that school. Jobs. And this is a key element, of course, is which jobs are available. And then you can start to say, well, I actually want to have something, maybe you're very good in particles and you want to do a VFX job. VFX, let's see here, and look here. Our evangelist, Mike Geik, is actually looking for a particle artist. So if there's a particle artist here, please apply to this task because I'm looking for you. There's a lot of job posters, and then you can really scale it down. But if you're looking to recruit, you can post a job. What is this job? Is it a task, or is it a full-time job? So if you may be looking for somebody to help you with a nav mesh problem you have, or just that integration of this, you post a task, and you can fill it in. So you can also fill in your budget that you have in there, so you can very narrow it down. But if you're looking for a job, you can see if it's paid or not paid, or this is the range I'm looking for. And this is really cool. There's a new feature we have is here, open discussions channels. So you can actually come in and have discussions, real-time discussions about maybe a specific job or a specific task or new project that was based. So let me go back to my favorite software, second favorite software, PowerPoint. So it allows you to find those unicorns, people that can help you to realize your projects. It also allows you to find a job, maybe you're remote. So it's about finding that right fit for you. And let me give you some real examples here. Jacob, he's actually, by day he was making apps, and he's actually living in Birmingham. So it was really difficult for him to get into the industry and to find a job in a game studio, because there's not many game studios there, so it's a bit challenging. During the night, he was actually making applications in Unity. And that becomes really interesting because he really want to explore that option. So he went to look on Connect, made a profile in Connect, and went to look. And that's where he found a studio, Giant Army. They made a famous game, Universe Sandbox. There's about 800,000 copies sold. It's a studio of 14 people. So they saw that what he's offering. And then they connected, and so he came in and helped them with the VR development. So that's how he got a job for a company who was all over remote. Another success story that we are aware of. There's a lot of success stories are aware, but we're not always aware of it. Rigel Benton, who was originally a cinematographer, but he started to work more and more in the AR and VR, and he did freelancing. And he was looking for a full-time job, so he went to Unityconnect and actually connected with the company Banjo. They are an agency, a VR agency, and who mainly works for large and enterprise companies and non-profit companies. And they were looking for somebody who can convert their games to VR. And that's how he connected. And that's really cool because later on, this company realized, wow, we can actually find very fast talent to help us solve our problem. So they have since then hired more people through that way. Well, one of my friends, Vinny, he works at Viforia. It's really cool because we knew him already a long time. He went to Unityconnect and found actually a job to Unityconnect, and he works now at Viforia as an evangelist. So we have the same role. It's really awesome. But here in Austin, we have Wave VR and Chicken Waffle from Finn Stabber. He actually hired just developers, 2 developers, to Unityconnect too. So you can see, you can find here the people at Unite too. This morning, my friends at TikTok Games, they actually just posted 3 job openings. So they just posted. So if you're looking for a job as a project manager, a level designer, or a game producer in Burbank, it's your chance to be the first one. But also, as I said, we are looking for our own staff through Connect. So we look here for a VFX artist. This might sound a little bit strange, but I run the evangelism team at Unity. So on a regular basis, like we do Unite, or we do Developer Day, or user groups, or roadshows. And we're looking for people to come to talk at our events. And it's hard to find. Can we find the right person that lives in New York that can actually show a VR game and explain about it? So what did we do? We went to Unityconnect and we typed in New York City VR. And we got a list of all people who created VR games and VR projects. So we invited them to come to show their games at our show, and we had from there also speakers. So more and more studios are really talking about it. But let's look a little bit at the data, then you can see how overwhelming and how huge this network is becoming. Did you know there's already 117,000 profiles on Unityconnect? That's for you a huge pool that in one shot you can connect to find new people. And so it's not just programmers. Here are nice examples of people who are artists, lead artists, 2D artists, VR, all have a profile in Unityconnect that find jobs through that. There's 29,000 projects already posted on Unityconnect. That's a staggering number, 29,000 projects from people who are showing what they do and how we can learn from them. There's 2,700 companies already posted, made an account on Connect, and looking for staff, looking for help, looking for expertise. Just artists, programmers, sound designers to come help them to make their games VR experiences. And companies such as Viforia, Oculus, Alchemy, Zynga, DNA, all have an account and use Connect as a recruiting tool. Since to date, there's already more than 2,000 jobs posted and successfully gone on to the games, joining for the games. It's now your turn. I invite you, for the people, the half of the room who's now crying, to join Unityconnect. But one thing I want to mention is this is still a tool. It's a software product. There's always a human component to it of how you talk. And if you connect with somebody and you look at the references, you look at their projects, how do you talk to them? How do you actually do an interview? And that's why I'm very interested, because we have Marilyn here who can actually share about that. So listen very carefully, because what I learned from Marilyn is if you learn how you recruit, then you learn also how to do your interview with her much better.
Right. Big tips for that. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I lead tech recruiting at Unity. We're headquartered in San Francisco, and we're on Unityconnect along with all the other people. And you're going to do my slides, right?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so I'm going to talk to you about, again, if you're a job seeker or a company or a studio, hiring on Unityconnect is, and just about recruiting in general to help you be successful. So anyways, the important thing when you put your job on Unityconnect is get a good job description, which means not too long, not too short, but to the point about your company, the skills that are needed, and like the programming languages or portfolio. If yours isn't good, look at mine, look at other people's. There's a lot of good ones on there. That's the most important thing. The next thing is to build a recruitment process. If you don't have HR, you'll be doing it yourself, and you need to have a swift process. The best people, everybody I talk to, all the engineers have 5 good things. We're one of them, so you got to move quickly, and you have to have a good process. So what I do at Unity, and you can use this, I do a quick phone screen. After, if they pass that, I send it on to my hiring manager. We do a live text screen, or we do a CoderPad phone screen, depending on their location. Following that, we immediately bring them in for an interview with 4 people, 5 sometimes. They each pick out what they're going to talk to about. If they're good, we make them an offer that day or the next day. And if they're not, we let them know and that they can apply for other opportunities on Unityconnect or at Unity, and that's how it works. And we hire people every week. We're hiring people here. So anyways, the other thing that we do is interview for cultural fit, and in San Francisco, we like to use the word cultural add. This isn't a frat party or sorority party. We want people to be like us in terms of their technology, but we also, they can be different. I mean, they're a culture add. So, but that is important. One of the rules we have at Unity is we don't hire jerks or people with attitude. So, find somebody that fits with your team and and your values, and you can pick up that right away when you're talking to them. And a lot of times, like to sell people, because it's very competitive in San Francisco and Bellevue, where I do a lot of hiring, is we take them out to coffee, we take them to dinner, if we really want them, or we get on a Google Hangout and we chat with them. So you don't only have to do it on there's a lot of opportunities to meet people and sell your company. And then, again, sell your studio, you really have to be able to sell your company. With me, I love what I do. It's just and I'm not kidding, it's the best job I've ever had. I tell people this is a fantastic place to work, which it is. And I can sell them because I really believe in us and what we're doing. Anyway, so then once you found somebody on there, is you onboard them. One of the things that we do is we connect with them right away. We get a mentor, and the mentor sends them swag and said, if you need any help before you get there, I'm going to be your buddy all week. You have someone to eat lunch with, so you're not a lone wolf. You do stuff with the team, and we make sure that it's, nothing is worse than your first day of work. And even if they're remote, we do that sort of thing as well. And you get them a development plan. They know what their achievements should be in the next 30 to 60, 90 days and their goals, and then engage. We take them to dinner, we go bowling, we do karaoke. We're very kind of a work-play together culture, so we make sure that everybody feels welcome and they don't feel like a lone wolf. So job seekers, again, you don't have to raise your hand, but let me give you some tips. So we look for people on Unityconnect, and you just saw some of the other companies, whether you're contract or regular. Put your profile there, have it on LinkedIn, make sure it looks good. You just look at other people who are successful to know what looks good, and have that match your LinkedIn and all your Twitter, your Facebook, have it look good. I don't really, actually I have hired people off Facebook. I don't go stalk people, but I have hired. But that all has to be kind of match you, because recruiters, everyone looks at it, so make sure they match and they concisely say how fabulous you are. And then, like, if you're, get on GitHub, if you're, an engineer, and have that on your resume, have a fantastic portfolio, have the link on your resume. I look at I don't want to say 50 resumes a day, and I go like this, like Tinder swipe. It's like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And I can tell right away if something's good by the presentation. So that's very important, and for recruiters, and you will know this yourself, you can tell how well they put together if the resume is good or not. And then connect with recruiters. My team is on there on Unityconnect. I'm on there. I'm on LinkedIn. Connect with me. Connect with the Oculus recruiter, whoever you want to. Connect with them on LinkedIn, Unityconnect, everywhere. And then connect with your network, whether it's, the UT Austin school or your whatever alumni groups, your meetup groups. We do Unity meetups. I go to all kind of meetups and look for people that do stuff. So meetups are excellent. So get yourself out there, and that's how you find jobs a lot, through just, I go to the sports bar and I actually hire people from there, so that's part of my deal. Anyway, so do your research and be prepared. And the main thing that I want to tell you about when you do your first phone interview, 75% of the people that I talked to, I said, so what do you know about Unity? And they go, well, I found it, it matched my job, whatever. I guess they're a game engine or whatever. And I go, okay. And anyways, then I said, so what do you know about the job? How do your skills match to my job? And they're going, oh, okay. And I know they're looking on their thing right there. And so the main thing, and then, like, and let's say someone looks fabulous on paper and they have everything, and I go, well, I think you look pretty good. And then I get into my spiel and I talk to you, have these languages, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, I'm passing you on to the recruiting, the hiring manager, but you do your homework. You know what we do. You know what this job description says. You know how to match yourself to talk to it, talk about your accomplishments, and you do your homework on the job and the job description of the company. 75% don't. That's half of it. Because this guy had the skills, and I tell them before the next, I said, don't embarrass me. You do your homework, because you're 75% there. Anyways, let's see. Okay, next one. Students. So there's student stuff on there. We have our internships on there. I've been talking to a lot of students here, and I tell them, be prepared. I told 10 people in the booth exactly what to do yesterday. I said, get your resume updated. If you want to work in Unity, get the Unity for certification. You got a year and a half. That's important, for the job you want to do. Here's the programming. Here's the languages I'm looking for an engineer. Get that. You've got these two. Get the other 4. Get that grade point up. And then do internships. I look at some resumes and I can't believe it. They have the right internships. They are doing the right projects in school. And you know what? They can get hired. They're hired. So do everything when you're in your school to get your internship and your next job by having your resume look good and be learning the things that you need to. And, I'm going to be here afterward. You can go ask me. And I just told 10 people everything they needed to do to get hired yesterday. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's it on that one.
So there's one thing I want to add for students. I was a student long time ago, but also I ran schools, and I worked with students to find their job. And some of our schools were really remote, so it's hard for them to find sometimes a job. And we want to let them know, like, hey, start with Unity. If you're passionate about making games or experiences, but also we have a lot of free tutorials. Learn about it, so you can better present Unity, can make nice games. But one of the really interesting things is that now we have courseware available who takes you through from the beginning to the end to make a game. So you create a Unityconnect page then, you put your projects up that you created through the courseware, maybe you did some presentations, maybe you helped some other students on their projects, so you can all bring that information. But one of the things that you really can do to really stand out is get certified. So at Unity, we have multiple certification now. Last week, we had a blog released that really talked about our pro certification. So we have beginner certification, general Unity that you can take, and then they have some specific ones really in depth. And we have one for animation and rigging. That's actually my background, so I'm super excited to take the challenge on for myself. Then there's one for gameplay programming, and then there's one for shading and effects. So if you specialize in those areas, this is really able to help you stand out and find faster a job, because they know, okay, you take this exam. And it's really interesting because, is it really a challenge? Well, I was actually talking to some of my coworkers who took already the exam, and they came to me, oh, it's hard, Carl. So then I knew right away, okay, I want to do it now too. I want to really prove I can pass the exam and have a better score than my friends at Unity.
Yay. Yeah, so I'm going to be in the recruiting booth in the expo floor, careers kiosk. Come talk to me. I'll tell you everything you need to know. Or if you're leaving and getting your plane, I'm on the app. I'm on LinkedIn. Connect with me. Message me on the app, and I'll help you. That's what I do. I like to build teams and dreams for Unity and for you. So I'm Marilyn. Come say hi.
Also, if you're looking for to become an evangelist at Unity, we actually have a page of all our evangelists there, so you can directly ask them questions. Hey, how I can become an evangelist? But also you can share like, hey, Carl, this is a presentation I did at a user group. And maybe send us a link. We are super eager to connect it with you and find more evangelists for us. But I know there's only 1 minute left. That's why good luck and have fun at Unite.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Feel free to come up.
Yeah, come up.
We're using the mics. Wait for this guy.
Okay.
You want to come up? Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, man. It's all you.
Do you want to come
I just
up?
want you to talk about the scope of what you do. You do like billing and watch the project getting done and how many hours the person actually worked on a project, and what's the scope of this? Is this just a connection tool, or is this more?
No, it's a connection tool. It's finding connections, yeah. Yes.
You can message people, though, on Unityconnect. You can message people like live chat and start getting into that and probably get that all squared away with a couple of messages back and forth. That's a new feature on there. Okay.
Yes?
So question regarding whether creating games in Unity or digital experiences, it looks like with Connect you can find programmers and artists. However, those got to be brought to fruition. You got to look for producers, anybody that's good with, let's say, lean startup methodologies. How would you recommend utilizing Connect for lean startup producers, that kind of thing? How would you recommend that?
So it's really interesting that we talked about it to multiple. I'm going to talk from a technical viewpoint and then from a recruiter viewpoint. From a technical viewpoint, in the software, it's super easy. There's already people who are producers who are creating their profile there because they understand and see that Unity is the ultimate platform on rich interactive content. And I have talked already to studios, and they're actually already hiring producers, not the programmers, not the artists, but also the producers, project managers already. Like TikTok Games is hiring their project managers through Connect, because they know, okay, you worked in Unity, you worked already with programmers, with artists, you understand that culture, and that's how they come there. But hiring those specific roles, you're way more...
Right, yeah, so make sure that you have your profile on there and your company profile. There's a place for both, and that you have your little job description like you do on LinkedIn or yourself and whatever, and you explain your thing, and then you can start connecting people and hiring them, and I think you should probably do pretty well. If it doesn't work, you connect with me, and we'll get on the phone and I'll help you. But you can connect with people, and you can look for people. My recruiters that work for me and myself, I look for people there. It's not just them coming to you. You can go in there and source and message people that, just like you put in the words and do a search, and they'll pop up, and you can send them a message. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, talk to me. I'm glad to help. worked in a lot of startups, and it's tough.
Yeah, I think I'll pick your brain on it afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. So very excited for Unityconnect. I actually didn't know this was a thing, so this is pretty awesome. So my question is actually more so for Marilyn in regards to like the recruiting process. So I actually work at a startup. I kind of wish my CEO was here to like learn from you, but you know, at a startup.
I'll have lunch with him.
Okay, I'll let you know. I'll connect you too. So you know, at a startup, it's really important like managing your time and managing your efficiency. And I know like one of the common things that we always run into whenever we're recruiting for anything is like he'll do 10 phone screens before you know he actually finds anybody that's actually good. So what's a better way of like going through that pipeline and not just you know taking the time away from screening 10 people and
Right.
just throwing them out of the box?
Yeah, well, time is, I have deadlines with my VPs and GMs that I work with, and they said, Marilyn, we can't do what we're going to do by the end of the year. We need these 12 hires, get it done. So you know, let's say I have a job and no one's applying. A lot of times they don't for a startup, it's too high risk. So then I have to look for people, and you have to do it yourself, or you need to hire someone to do it. But in terms of, like I said, I look at a lot of resumes like this all day, swipe, swipe, swipe. And I can tell right away, and you've got to teach them. And my engineers, we have it down. I've been working there for a year and a half now, but I picked top 5 people I want to talk to. I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I send them on to the next thing. I'm seldom wrong. My day will come, but that's why I've been doing this for a long time, and I send it to them. They know what they're looking for, and we go quickly. Me, them. It can literally be me, them, interview team in 3 days. Because, I mean, I'm competing with the Facebooks and the Googles of this world and LinkedIn and startups. Some people want to go to a startup. So I just move quickly, and I learned how to, you've got to fine tune it. You've got to know what you're looking, and it shouldn't be 10. It should be 5. I picked the top 5, and if you don't find them, you've got to go sourcing on Unityconnect or on LinkedIn and find those people. And I have to do it too. People are banging on the door, and then for some jobs, they're not banging on the door because they can go anywhere. So I'm happy to talk to you further about it.
Cool. Thank
So
you.
one piece of advice I can give that, when I joined Unity, I have not done much hiring myself. But then in Unity, with such an aggressive growth, I was involved. Like people, hey Carl, can you join the process of recruiting? What do I ask actually in an interview? Hey, how does the process work? So I actually read a book, Hire with Your Head. And I can really recommend you that. That's if you're a technical person and you have not done much recruiting, then I would really recommend to read that book. It takes you to a process and how you're actually going to hire somebody that can do the job but doesn't pass the interview. And that's just a little piece of advice that I learned over time at Unity.
Yeah, another thing too, just on Glassdoor, everybody always looks on Glassdoor before they come, like what the interview process is. You can see what ours is, or you can look at some other startups, and it'll say, this was lousy. It took 2 weeks to get a phone call, and then I did 10 ridiculous whatever. So learn, like the one I shared, phone screen, text screen, team screen, quick as possible. Do that, and then you can look on Glassdoor's, let's say, similar companies to yours, what they're doing, and they will complain if they do not like your process. And if you have the right process, it'll work. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are over time, so thank you.